What's going on, guys? May from iTech224. I'm going to be putting an SSD into my MacBook Pro. Alright, so before we install the SSD, we're going to make a recovery disk for Lion so we can install that on the new hard drive. So take your USB, make sure it's at least 1 GB in size. Then we're going to go ahead and go into Disk Utility, select the drive, then click Erase, and then select the format. Then you're going to go ahead and name it. I named mine OS 10 Recovery. You can name it whatever you want, just make sure you know what you called it so you can find it later. Then go ahead and click Erase, and then once that finishes, you can go ahead and open up the utility, and that'll be in the description below. Click it, follow the on-screen instructions, and just wait for that to finish. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the actual installation. So of course you're going to need your hard drive that you're going to be putting in. I'm using an OCZ Vertex 3 120GB SSD, and it's very nice. So you're also going to need a 00 Phillips screwdriver and a Torx T6 Torx screwdriver. So make sure you guys have those, and then we can go ahead and get into the installation. So use the Phillips screwdriver to take off the screws on the bottom of the computer so you can open it up, and make sure you get a good screwdriver because these are very easy to strip, these screws are, and you really don't want to deal with that once that happens. So just make sure you have a nice screwdriver for this so you don't have to deal with any problems like I have dealt with in the past. And if you start to strip them, just make sure you guys stop and don't keep trying, because that's just going to cause a lot of problems. I do that all the time, and you really don't want to do that. So once you do that, go ahead and take the lid off and expose the computer. It's very nice inside, and you'll see that there's the hard drive right there in the bottom left corner. So there's a little black part holding it in. Want to unscrew that with the Phillips screwdriver again. It's very easy, not easy to miss at all. Just unscrew both the screws. Then you're going to pull that out once you get it, and just put that to the side. Don't lose it. As you can see, a little black part. Then pull the tab for the hard drive. It is connected, so don't pull out too fast. You're going to want to unconnect the SATA connector, and just make sure you don't rip it, because that is very easy to rip. Then you're going to want to unscrew using the Torx T6 screwdriver. There are 4 screws around the hard drive. Make sure you take all those out. We're going to put those on the SSD, and that's what holds it in place. So go ahead and take those out and then replace them on the SSD. Once you install those, then you should be good to go, and we'll go ahead and put it back in. You're also going to want to take the tab from the other hard drive and put that onto the SSD, and that's just going to make it a little bit easier to take out if you ever need to do that. And just make sure you guys get it on there good. And then we're going to go ahead and install it. So reconnect the SATA cable. Just make sure it's nice and snug. Make sure the connection works and everything fits nice. And then we're going to put it in. Make sure you put the closest part to the end in first, like I'm doing in the video, and then push it down. Then we're going to take the black part that we took out in the beginning, put it back in, and screw that down. Now, if you're worried about putting it in backwards, don't worry. There's only one way it can go, so you can only do it one way. And then we're going to put the back on, and we're going to turn it on. So make sure you guys screw all the screws back in where you put them. There are 3 long ones in the back that I just put in there, and you really can't put them anywhere else, so make sure they go in the right place. And just go ahead and screw everything down. Make sure it's tight so nothing falls out. And you should be good to go, and we can go ahead and start this up and set everything up. So go ahead and plug in that memory key that we made, and we're going to turn on the computer holding the option key as we turn it on. So that's going to boot up into the drive that we made. And as you can see, this is the option you get. Go ahead and click it, sign into your network, and then we're going to go into Disk Utility and pretty much do the same thing we did at the beginning. Go ahead and select the SSD, click Erase, and select the format that you want. OS 10 Extended Journal works just fine. Then go ahead and name it. I named mine SSD, then click Erase. That is going to format it, and you should be good from there. So then after that, you are going to go ahead and just follow the on-screen instructions. It's going to download Lion and install it, and that should take a while, but once it finishes, you should be good to go. So there we go, installed succeeded, and then we're good to go. It should work and boot up fine. So what I'm going to do is do a boot test between the SSD and the hard drive. So the normal hard drive is 500 gigabytes, and it does have all my stuff on it. So keep that in mind in the test. It doesn't really matter though, because the SSD blows the normal hard drive out of the water. There's really no comparison. So just waiting for the SSD to boot up. It's really, really fast, and there's really no comparison, like I said. So I'm pretty much just going to let this video run until it is done, because it kind of takes a while, so you guys can watch that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That would be awesome. Also, give this video a like. That would be even more awesome. Follow me on Twitter at iTech224 to see when I upload new videos and to see news about the channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Enjoy the boot test.